We're talking VR hardware today, specifically the Varjo Aero. Came out a couple years ago, priced at the steep price of 2,000 United States smackaroos or thereabouts. Very high-end piece of kit, kind of almost exotic, premium stuff. But I think a lot of people are going to be talking about it now because in a unforeseen move, Varjo has slashed the price of this thing in half. It's now less than $1,000, I think $990 US officially. I bought this one secondhand a month ago for more than that, and I'm not salty about the price drop at all. But yeah, this is going to be like a viable option for a lot more people now. The new price point puts it in striking distance of other high-end options such as the Quest Pro or the BigScreen Beyond. So I think some people looking to potentially upgrade from their Valve indices might be considering this as a potential option. So I just wanted to take a few moments, talk about my experience with it, specifically from the perspective of someone who plays social VR. Now I've seen some videos on this from back when it was new. Specifically, it seemed to be popular with the simulation folks, and I could see it being great for that. Very high-end specs on the display. Yeah, good fit. Don't see too many people playing VR chat with it, but that is what I do. I've been testing out for a month. I've put a couple hours on it. Longer play sessions, we'll talk about comfort. Yeah, so let's just jump into talking about some of the things that I like about this. We can talk about the things that are not so great about it, and then we can talk about how it stacks up against the competition. So, first off, anytime you were talking about this thing, the first subject people are going to bring up is the displays because, oh my goodness, they are magnificent. Now, they could be better. OLED, I mean, yeah, it's not OLED blacks, but in terms of the resolution and the optics quality, light years beyond what I had on the headset I was coming from, the Valve Index. Frankly, the resolution on display here is obscene. It is so many pixels, like it's like you're looking through a window. When I first tried it out, I was just going around gawking at just my friends' avatars because I've never seen them in anywhere near this amount of quality before. So much detail. I went and played Half-Life Alyx, and I was like, why do all these textures look kind of soupy? So I went to the menu to turn up the settings. It was already on Ultra. It was just it was never designed to be looked at in that much clarity. And this thing, yeah, it's like the first time you saw an HD TV. That's what this was for me. The optics also much better quality than the Fresnel lenses on the Index. Don't have any like flares or whatever it is. Yeah, anytime there was something bright on screen on the Index, I'd have like this annoying white arc at the edge of my vision, and none of that here. Crystal clear. Love the displays. The displays are beautiful. Also, what I really like about this, and what it has as a commonality with the Index and the BigScreen Beyond, is it uses Valve's Lighthouse Tracking. So I already have lighthouses up positioned around my play space back there. I'm able to just continue using them. I don't have to deal with any space calibration stuff that you would get by switching to an inside-out tracked headset, such as the Q Pro here. So it just kind of works with all the stuff you have. That could be a pro or a con, honestly. If you're like me, coming from an Index, you already have all the stuff. That's great. If you're getting into VR for the first time, well, now you have just the headset. It does not come with base stations. It does not come with controllers. It does not come with anything else, just the headset and the stuff to plug it in. So, plus or minus, I view that as a huge plus because I'm rolling with Vive trackers for full body. It just kind of fits in. It was pretty much just a direct upgrade from the Index for me, which is exactly what I wanted. Just straightforward, simple, plug it in, it does the thing. Beautiful. Also on the terms of tracking, full eye tracking. That was a big selling point for me. So back on my Index, I got I have one around here. No, I don't. I didn't grab it. Be right back. There's my prop. One of these Vive facial trackers. Yeah, and it was just, for social VR, it was just really, I don't know if liberating's an overstatement, but it's so nice being able to just walk up to someone and just smile at them. I really enjoyed that. So after I got this, I was like, I need the eye tracking. I need it. So I got it. I tried this thing first. This does have full face tracking, but this combined with a Vive tracker will get you the same effect with a traditional corded experience. So eye tracking, very cool. And outside of VR chat, in games that support it, you do get foveated rendering with that, which means more frames, more better VR experience. Everybody's happy. There's a little display in the software that shows you what the eye tracking cameras are seeing. I highly recommend never clicking on that because it is highly unsettling, but it is really cool how that technology works. When you put the headset on for the first time, it gives you a little thing. You click the button, you stare at a dot, and all of a sudden it knows exactly what you're looking at. Crazy stuff, crazy stuff. Just checking my my teleprompter here to make sure I didn't forget anything. Ah, yes, comfort. Comfort is another plus. So, adjustment on this, quite simple. Basically, you just have two straps. You put it on your head. You can tighten it this way, and you move it up and down this way. Got a couple of knobs that let you adjust the angle of this thing. So, I've had pretty long, like 8-hour plus play sessions because I'm a weirdo and I like VR chat a lot. But this thing is, super comfy to wear for an extended period of time. Comparable, I would say, to the Index. Just very comfy. It has fans built in, which I'm neutral about. I've never had, heat issues with the headset, but I know some people like to mod fans into the Index, so that could be a big pro for someone. What's not cool about that feature is there is no way to turn it off or even adjust the speed. It's just going. So if your eyes dry out easily, that could be a problem for you. Mine kind of do that, so I was worried about it, but it has not been an issue. My eyes haven't dried out while using it, so that's been good. Other note, if you like to recline or lean back on something, the part back here does stick out a little bit more than on the Index, but not enough to really interfere with anything. All right, we're moving on to the things that are not so good about this headset, and I'm gonna go off script here and start with what's actually the biggest one, which is compatibility. So first off, if you own an AMD GPU and you're not looking to switch to Green Team anytime soon, don't get it because it doesn't work. Basically, my understanding is that the resolution of the displays here is so high that it's more than what a DisplayPort connection coming out of your GPU can actually support regularly. So they use some proprietary NVIDIA tech to kind of cram everything through that single connection. So I tried connecting it to my RX 6900 XT. No dice. It's a no-go. So got to be on a green GPU for that. I've got a 3080 in my VR PC over here, so that's what I'll be powering it off of. But yeah, that's a big downside for sure. So if you're on Team Red, yeah, you're gonna have to look elsewhere. Also on the note of compatibility, this is more of a footnote, but it's a little annoyance for me coming from the Index. This does not have the same weird proprietary Bluetooth chip whatever in it that the Index and Vives have, so the headset itself cannot communicate directly with your base stations, and where that applies is power management. So when you close Steam VR using this thing, it can't shut off all of the base stations, which means they're on all the time. Workaround for that is just plug them into a smart plug and then work that way, but it would be nice if that was supported out of the box here. All right, smaller stuff, well, it kind of depends who you are. Audio. This formerly $2,000 headset does not have speakers. Okay, does not even have a microphone built in, which is a very strange omission. So I'm pretty sure even my original PSVR, my original PSVR even had a built-in microphone. So kind of strange omission. What you do get is a pair of lopsided little earbuds that go in. Yeah, not the most elegant solution for what is a high-end headset. They do sound okay. I tried plugging in some nicer IEMs to use them, but then I quickly realized nobody could actually hear me. So the microphone used is inline here. There's no microphone built into the unit, so if you want to use a different mic, you're going to have to get either earbuds that have them built in or some breakout splitter or like a mod mic or something I've seen people do. People do have mods that they can do to add Index style speakers to this, but I've actually been using the earbuds for the last month, and They work okay, actually. People were surprised how good I sounded on the microphone. We'll do a little sample of what that sounds like for you here. As promised, here is a little sample of what the built-in audio sounds like on the Aero. Not too bad, gets the job done. I mean, it's an earbud microphone, so yeah. Back over to the real world. Yeah, the audio quality on the earbuds is fine. Like, it's fine. The only annoying parts with it are, like, if you're coming back from, like, a bio break or whatever, and people see you uncrumpling, they'll start talking to you as soon as they see that headset go on, but if you don't have the earbuds in yet, you're not going to be able to hear them. And then if you do something like VR karaoke, you can't really hear yourself very well with these, so I find myself just taking one out when I'm doing that so I can actually hear my own voice. So, not ideal. Not ideal. It works. It's passable. It sounds fine, but it would have been nicer if they just had something built into the headset for that. So you're just left with that 3.5mm port. And actually, while I have this thing out, this is a very similar solution to what shipped on the original PlayStation VR. So, yeah. And on the subject of adding things like speakers to your headsets, for extensibility, there is not a USB port on this thing. So if you want to run something like that face tracker I talked about before, or wire up some like little powered USB speakers or something, you're going to be running an extra cable to this thing. So that means 2 tether cables coming to it. I connected mine with like a gazillion little strips of Velcro. And it just makes the cable bulkier and less pleasant to deal with. So that is an unfortunate downside. And then our final con is the field of view. I'll throw the specific numbers up on the screen over here, but it's definitely less than you get on some of the other high-end headsets. Specifically on the vertical, you have like your vision is like curved at the sides like a circle, and then at the top and bottom it just kind of chops off in a straight line. Doesn't really bother me. I rarely notice it, but it is something to note because I know that is an important part of immersion for some folks. So let's talk about where this fits in versus the Quest Pro and versus the BigScreen Beyond, because they're all about $1,000 now. Of course, with the Quest Pro, you're getting the standalone experience and some controllers bundled with it. The standalone stuff, that doesn't really appeal to me. I've tried using wireless on this stuff and just never had a very consistent experience with it. I used to have a Quest 2 as well, and like using virtual desktop, these things, they work all right. Yeah, I've got a Wi-Fi 6 access point, the Ubiquity one, like a few feet over my head over there. But the issue that I had with the Q Pro is that to use the face tracking on this thing, you have to use the Oculus software. There's no support for it in virtual desktop. I think they might be adding experimental support for it in ALVR, but I did not get that working. Yeah, basically you're stuck using the Oculus software, which I know some people, I personally know some people that have had very consistent experiences with that, but from my experience, the Quest software over AirLink or whatever the wired thing's called was very buggy, just crashes and hiccups and problems all the time. So I didn't want to deal with it. I didn't want to have to deal with space calibration, getting this thing to line up with all of my Vive trackers. I wanted a straightforward experience. I just plug it in and it works. This gives me that. So now that this thing is no longer, like, it's still expensive. It's not obscenely expensive anymore. If you care about face tracking between these two, get this one. Unless you're like, you really want the standalone for some stuff. Take it to grandma's house. Like, all right, with the Quest Pro out of the picture, I'm sorry, I don't like it. I don't like it that much. Pass-through is cool. Some of the standalone features, cool for playing VR chat. Like, this is just so much easier to use. Yeah, so that really leaves this and the BigScreen Beyond as the two to talk about at $1,000 for PC VR. And there, it's actually a pretty straightforward choice. Do you want eye tracking? So BigScreen Beyond going to give you a more immersive experience, I guess, in terms of basically it's 3D scan to fit your face specifically. I should mention that at least for the shape of my face, This has blocked out light better than any other headset I've ever owned. Like, I would run into stuff because I cannot see any. There's no nose hole for me to see stuff through. So that's probably just the shape of my nose, but I'm basically completely blinded in this thing right now. So, but of course you get a custom molded thing with the big screen, so everybody would have that experience. And the big screen is going to be way more compact and lightweight than this thing. So really, just do you want the face tracking? I really enjoy the face tracking, so that was an easy decision for me. If you want a little bit more detailed comparison, my friend Boneless just did a great video on his channel. I'm going to have a card up here. Yeah, card up here for that. So go check that out as well. But yeah, I've been very happy with this thing. It's a lovely headset. Even though I, in retrospect, overpaid for it because the price got slashed in half, I'm still very happy with it. It's a lovely little headset. So yeah, if you are interested in setting up one of these, or you have another headset already that supports full face tracking and you want to get things set up on your avatar, I'm going to have a little follow-up video on my sub channel on setting that up, so be sure to check that out. Yeah, that's about it. I really like this thing. It was expensive, less expensive now. Great buy, I think. So this is the big screen, don't get the Quest Pro. Quest Pro doesn't need to exist anymore. So yeah, thumbs, comments, subs, you know the drill. See you next time. If you got anything you want me to cover, let me know in the comments. See ya. What do I do now? We're going to put the little Miata plushie in the outro screen. These guys are not a sponsor, but they could be.